Thanks so much to all my patrons. Join now to help support the channel and help pick the books I review on this channel. Link in the description. Welcome back, everybody. It is the first of the month, and that means it's time to talk about my August to-be-read list, or commonly referred to as the TBR. Before we talk about the books, let's talk about the July TBR contest. So every month I run this contest. People guess to predict the books that I'm going to read and what I'm going to score them, and the top 3 places win. If you win twice, you get to pick a book for me to read, any book you want. And if you win just once, you get your name highlighted in the video the future month. So click the link down below in the description here after you finish watching this video, because in the video I'm going to talk about my current thoughts and projections on what I'm going to score all these books. Then you can go and make your guesses and see if you win. Really fun. Hundreds of people get involved, and lots of people have won already twice, so maybe you'll be the next one. So for this previous month, the TBR winner for the gold medal was 𝐒𝐮𝐲𝐻𝐿, who got 4 out of 7 correct. This was a really hard month. Silver went to Phoebe Moondare, who also got 4 out of 7 correct, but had a lower tiebreaker score. And the bronze went to Raul Araujo, who also got 4 out of 7 correct, but got an even lower tiebreaker score. The book that most people guessed right was my 5-star rating of Blood of Lisgore, which is book 8 of The Wandering Inn. 215 people got that one right, which is about 88%. The book most people got wrong was my 3.5-star rating for Mistborn, The Final Empire by Brandon Sanderson. Only one person got that right, which is about 0.4%. I've never had a situation happen before where only one person got it right, so that was something special. The average score this month was 1.97 out of 7, and the worst score was 0 out of 7, which was scored by 5 different people. All right, so every month, lately at least, when you submit your picks, I ask a weird question, and the best answer gets featured. The question this month was, what is the stupidest superpower imaginable? And the best one, the one that made me laugh, was Manu, a friend of the Discord server, and his comment was, you can read people's minds, but only when licking them. The only thought you're ever going to read is, what the F is this guy doing? Awesome. Awesome stuff. Good job, Manu. So let's go over the books now. So the first one is Blood of the Mantis. This is the 3rd book in the Shadows of the Apt series by Adrian Tchaikovsky. I'm doing this one in book format. I am already done. I read last month's books pretty dang fast, and I got ahead of myself. So yep, already done. So I'm not going to tell you what I predict the score will be, because I already know what the score is going to be. But it's a pretty short book. It's only 301 pages. And yeah, I can say that before I read it, my predicted score was probably 4.5 out of 5. The first book I gave, I think, a 4 out of 5, maybe 4.5. The second book, I gave it a 5 out of 5. I can't imagine it topping that second book. That second book was just absolutely incredible. And the tension was so high that I imagined we're going to go down, which could be great. A lot of times the tension goes down, my interest goes up. But yeah, fair score. But yeah, people need to check out the series. It was, I feel like it was really popular, like 15 years ago, 20, maybe not super popular, but way more popular than now. And it's just kind of gone out of people's minds. But it's great. I mean, it's epic fantasy. It's got a really, really inventive world, and and all the people in it have all the magical creatures that are in it. It's really fun, really entertaining, and yeah. Next up is Avampartha. This is the 2nd book in the Rhaenyra Revelations series by Michael J. Sullivan. I'm doing this one on audiobook. I am almost done with this one as well. This one was supposed to be read last month, so it may look like I'm doing things fast right now, but I'm actually doing them slow. I was a couple days behind, and it had to get pushed off to this month. It is about 344 pages, and I'm not going to give a predicted score because I already know what it is, but I think my prediction, when I predicted it last month, I think it was like a 3. I did not like the first book in this series after loving it the first time I read it. And so I feel like my tastes have just changed, and I'm just not going to like this one. But I have had some optimism around it, because I do recall liking the second book a lot more than the first. And I do remember, maybe I'm wrong, but I know now, so I'm saying this based on what I would have said. But I remember that the second book had less politics in it, and it was more like a buddy adventure, which is really what I'm looking for. And so, yeah, take that for what it is. All right. now for the books that I'm actually going to start reading this month. And the first one is Bastion. This is book 1 of the Immortal Great Souls series by Phil Tucker. This won the Patreon raffle wheel. I'm doing this one in book format, not ebook format, book format, because a awesome dude sent me the book from the Discord server. So super nice of you. And checking that one out. It's a beefy boy. It's 829 pages. But the pages are big and the text is small. And doing my conversion, I know about, most books have about 310 or so pages or words per page. And this one's got closer to 500. So this book should be 1,200 pages. So that 829 is artificially low. I should finish this up around the 11th, and I'm going to predict 5 stars. I normally don't predict 5 stars for a book that I know nothing about, but the very few things I do know about it make me feel like I'm going to love it. And the few things I do know about it, because I've kept myself so insulated from learning about this, because I've known that I'm going to read it for a long time, because it's a progression fantasy lit RPG. Every single progression fantasy lit RPG that I have read, I think I've loved. Or at least really liked. Getting over an illness. And so I got to think the same thing here. And I wish I could talk more about this, but I know nothing about it other than what the cover looks like. And I want to stay that way. So I love going into books blind. Works out so well a lot of the time. Sometimes it really bites you. All right, next up is The Well of Ascension. This is book 2 of Mistborn. Oh, God. So sorry. I'll edit both those out. Book 2 of Mistborn, Era 1 by Sanderson. I'm doing this in audiobook. I should finish this up around the 12th. It is 590 pages, and I'm going to predict a 2-star rating, which is crazy because I originally gave the first book a 5 when I read it the first time. I gave this one a 4.5. But I did not like the first book when I reread it. There's so much I didn't like about it. And I talked a lot about this yesterday in the video that I just put out. So watch my review of, or my mini review that I gave in my my recap video if you'd like. But I don't know if I didn't like the first book because my tastes have changed since I read it. Or if I didn't like that the magic system was slowly being explained, and I already knew the magic system. Now, the second book should solve that second problem. Maybe my problem is I'm just kind of not into that series anymore, and I don't like the writing of it. And so I'm going to go with that first one, which is why I'm giving it 2. But if it's the second one, this could be a lot higher. So we'll see. All right, next up is Elder Race. This is another one by Tchaikovsky. I'm reading 2 Tchaikovsky books this month. That's crazy. The first time I'm realizing that. This won the Patreon vote. I'm doing this in an audiobook. I should finish this up around the 14th. It is only 202 pages. I'm predicting 4 stars. And this is going to be the buddy read. So most of the time in my buddy reads, their books are 500 plus pages, sometimes a lot longer. And they take half the month to read. This is crazy short. And so we're going to have a very condensed, I don't know exactly how we're going to do the buddy read. Maybe we'd be let's talk about it at a halfway point and then the end, or maybe we'll talk about it, in smaller chunks or bigger. We'll figure it out, but it'll be fun. Come join. It's a lot of fun doing the buddy reads. Another one I don't know anything about other than I like Tchaikovsky. I've read a handful of Tchaikovsky books now. I've liked them all, and so I hopefully that trend can. Yikes! My little button that keeps the list going on the books I'm going to read just fell out of my hands. I've loved them all, or at least really liked them all. And this one's got to be the same. I went and looked at what are the best hits of Tchaikovsky, and I put them all in my TBR, and this is one of them. I know it's a standalone, but yeah, other than that, these TBR videos can be kind of boring sometimes when I don't really know anything about the books. Oh, and my controller shut off. Is that going to work now? Okay, thank God. All right, next up is The Garden of Stones. This is book 1 of the Echoes of Empire series by Mark T. Barnes. This book is from was chosen by 𝗏𝘅𝑃𝑔, who watches these videos and hangs around the Discord server. I don't remember why he got to pick a book. I think he won twice on the TBR contest, but there could have been some other weird reason that he got to pick a book, but I think that's why. Doing this in book format. Should finish this up around the 17th. It is 506 pages, and I am predicting 3 stars. My 3-star ranking is predicated on the fact that I know nothing about this, and I've never heard anything about this. First time I ever heard about this was by 𝐸𝑃𝑜G saying I should read it. Not often has that resulted in wonderful reads. Now, sometimes it has. Sometimes it really has. I remember when I read Larry Correia's Son of the Black Sword. I was like, God, this is going to suck. I've never heard of this before. And then it was like one of the best reads I've read in the year. So maybe that'll be it, but I'm going to go 3 stars. All right, speaking of Larry Correia, next up is House of Assassins, Book 2 in Saga of the Forgotten Warrior. So the second book from that first one I just talked about. I swear to God, I did not plan this. I'm doing this in book format. Should finish this up around the 21st. It is 416 pages, and I'm going 5 stars. That first book was so dang good. I mean, it was incredible. I loved it. Every single component of that first book was just wonderful to me. I just thought it was great. And how could the second book be anything other than 5 stars? Sometimes you just know. Sometimes when book 1 is just so fire that there's no way the second book could possibly be bad unless you're the guy who wrote Bloodsong, and then the second book, Tower Lord, came out and it was just horrific. So let's hope, Larry, that's not who you are, but we'll see. All right. Then we got The Crimson Campaign. This is book 2 of The Powder Mage by Brian McClellan. I'm doing this on audiobook. Should finish this up around the 23rd. 628 pages. I'm guessing 4 stars. This is a reread. The first time I read it, I gave it 5 stars. But I just finished the first book a couple months back, and I think I gave it 4 stars, so I got to predict the same thing here. Powder Mage is really good stuff, though. It's really fun world building, really interesting plot. Everything about it just feels really good. Nothing about it ever felt like incredible, but when everything's really good, that's a wonderful book to me. I can give a 5-star ranking to a book that does no single thing excellently, but everything just works. So maybe that's the case here, but I think 4 stars is a decent prediction here. All right. 2 left, and it is Children of Ruin, another Tchaikovsky book. I've confidently say that I've never read 3 different books from the same author in the same month before in my life, from different series. But yeah, this is the second book in Children of Time. Doing this in book format. Should finish this up around the 27th. It is 608 pages. I'm guessing 4 stars. Love, love, love the first book, which was called Children of Time, even though the Children of Time is the series name as well. Just loved it. I can't stop thinking about it. And I actually just bought this Children of Time for my brother for his birthday because I liked it so much, and I know he likes sci-fi, and it immediately came to mind as just a book that I kind of feel like everybody that likes sci-fi would at least get some kind of enjoyment out of. I have heard negative things about the second one, though, and that there's a big drop-off, which is why I'm giving the 4-star ranking. But I am a contrarian sometimes, and maybe I'll just love it even more than the first one. And the final book I'm reading this month is Free the Darkness. This is part of the King's Dark Tidings series by 𝐂𝐮𝐫𝐾𝐧𝐵. Audiobook. Should finish this up around the 30th. So there's a decent chance I won't finish this in time, but I'm putting it on here just in case. It is 408 pages, and I'm predicting 3 stars. This is on here because a while back, I feel like a year ago, I was getting really low on my audiobook TBR. I keep my TBR separate from physical book and audio because an audiobook, I need things to be a little simpler, and I need a good audiobook narrator, and that's not the case for every book in every series. And so I got recommendations out there, and there were several recommendations for this series in the audiobook format. So I'm giving it a shot. I don't know anything, literally nothing about it other than the audiobook is supposedly good. But we'll see after I read it. So those are all the books. Now that this is done, click down below in the description and fill out the contest. Come join the buddy read. Come hang out in the Discord. Or just enjoy living life. All right, so thank you so much for watching this, and as always, happy reading to you. Thanks again to all my patrons, with a special shout out to my Ascendant tier and Librarian tier patrons: Amy, Anna G, CJ, Doust, Darren, JD, Jonathan, Nathan T, Nev's Book Channel, 𝐿𝐿𝐿𝐿, Ron Reich, Russell, Ryan L, Slay, Sydney Baker, Tahir, Zion, Anna, Andra, Blair, Brock, Evan, Harry W, Joe UK, Kat Mick, Michael Sugarman, Sky, and Tyler. Thanks for sticking to the end of this video, and if you want to watch some more content from my channel, click over here and I've got some good videos for you. Thanks so much.